Welcome to From Creeping to Preaching. I'm your host, Renee R. White, a proud native Washingtonian, born and raised and still live here in the heart of Dicey. I spent many years of my life in this incredible city, and it's not just my home, it's where my story began and where my passion for uplifting my community, especially the youth. This podcast is a space where we can have real, raw conversations about life, faith, and purpose, all rooted in the experience of someone who has walked these very streets and understands the struggles and the beauty of life in DC. Listeners, we are Season 3, Episode 11. Season 3, Episode 11. And I call this one, It's Getting a Little Dicey. It's getting a little dicey. After making the decision in Episode 10, where, no intimacy, your girl is here again. This episode is not for the weak at heart. And I say that with love, because what I'm about to share goes against what most people think is possible, and definitely against what society tells us is the norm. Today we're talking about moving in together while still carrying heavy issues, heavy loads. No intimacy, no physical contact, but still having fun and still laughing and still growing. And I'm going to be honest up front. I do not recommend this for everyone. This took discipline, it took prayer, it took tears, it took restraint. But most of all, this took God. Let me set the stage. Two people. History, unresolved pain, unspoken disappointments, emotional baggage that doesn't magically disappear just because we shared a roof. We moved in together not because everything was fixed, but because we were trying to fix ourselves. And here's the part people don't like to talk about. Living together doesn't heal issues. It exposes them. Every silence is louder. Every mood shifts is notable. It's noticeable. Every unresolved wound has nowhere to hide. There were days we laughed so hard we cried, and days we barely spoke at all. But what made this different was the decision we made before we unpacked the boxes. No intimacy, no physical relationship, none. And let me tell you, I didn't think I could do that. Let's be real. We live in a world that says intimacy is how we connect, how we bond, how we fix what's broken. But what happens when intimacy becomes a distraction instead of a solution? There were moments I questioned myself. Moments I thought, what am I doing? Moments my flesh was louder than my faith. Sleeping under the same roof, seeing each other daily, sharing meals, sharing space, but drawing a line. Not because we didn't want each other, but because we wanted God more. And that line forced us to sit with the truth. No hiding behind the chemistry, no masking pain with affection, just two people learning how to be whole. Instead of leaning into each other physically, we leaned into God spiritually. Prayer became our language. Church became our grounding. Ministry became our focus. When things got tense, we prayed. When emotions got high, we paused. When temptation showed up, we reminded ourselves why we started. We poured into our ministries. We served. We showed up for others while God was quietly working on us. That 2-year cleansing wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Preparation for clarity, preparation for healing, preparation for friendship. Yes, friendship. somewhere along the way, something unexpected happened. We became friends. Not lovers, not fixers, not rescuers, friends. We joked, we watched TV, we talked about life, we learned each other without pressure. And that friendship did something intimacy never could. It built trust. Trust that wasn't based on desire, trust that wasn't rushed, trust that felt safe. I learned I could enjoy someone's presence without needing anything from them. And that was freeing. This season taught me discipline. It taught me patience. It taught me how strong I actually am. I learned that love doesn't always look like touch. That connection doesn't always mean closeness. That sometimes the deepest growth happens in restraint. I also learned my triggers, my weaknesses, my patterns. And instead of repeating old cycles, I finally sat with them. Was it easy? Absolutely not. Was it worth it? Without question. Now let me say this clearly. This is not a blueprint for everyone. This is not a trend. This is not a test for holiness. This was a God-ordained season for us. If you're weak in discipline, this could break you. If you avoiding healing, this won't fix it. If you're hoping proximity would solve deep wounds, it won't. But if God calls you into a season of separation while still being present, trust Him. So now I want to hear from you. Have you ever lived with someone while emotionally disconnected? Have you ever chosen healing over intimacy? Could you live with someone you care about and not cross that line? What would that challenge you? How would it challenge you? Are you avoiding healing because intimacy feels easier? Let me ask you this one gently. Is God asking you to pause something so He can purify you? That 2-year cleansing didn't just grow us together to God. It grew us closer to the truth. And sometimes truth is uncomfortable. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it feels unnatural. But it's always worth it. If this by chance, this episode spoke to you, share with someone who needs permission to heal slowly. Leave a comment, send a message. And remember, choosing God doesn't mean losing joy. Sometimes it means discovering a deeper one. Until next time, walk in faith, walk in healing, and keep choosing growth over comfort. Also, grab your copy of the book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. As you read along, you'll see a twist, turn, and triumph unfold, gaining a deeper understanding of my testimony and life-changing lessons behind every story. Let's walk this path together. Your journey of healing and hope is just one page away. Let's keep this conversation going. I'm excited to hear how you peeling back your layers and embracing your moment of it's getting a little dicey. Also, make sure you visit my website, Creeping and Preaching, for more updates, fresh merch, resources, and information about upcoming episodes. I'd like to thank my producer, McKinley, with Moving Emotion by Mac. See you next week.